Well, what a Six Nations we've had. Crazy, crazy. Beautiful game to watch. Done rugby union a power of good. Congratulations to all six teams. Some outstanding performances across the tournament. For me, I predicted carnage in Paris and we got carnage, but what a game. Couldn't quite believe it. And I've got to say, I think England were decidedly unlucky not to take the win. Now, let's break down that England-France game into a few points just to see if we can get some clarity. Just before half-time, England gave away two quick penalties, didn't really need to, resulted in a 5-metre line-out, driving maul. Genge appears to take them all down, certain try, penalty try, yellow card. However, I do think England were very unlucky because it looked to me as if there was a clear incidence of the lifters getting in front of the lifter, and disappointed in the TMO for not really looking into that. Then we take ourselves into the second half, and obviously penalty try 7, and then there's a further 2 tries while we're down to 14 men. We've taken 21 points. Despite that, we fight back. Now, believe it or not, several weeks ago, I said Steve Borthwick needs to pick Ollie Chesham in the back row. Guess what he did? And what a success. Chesham looked a world beater. And to be fair, Alex Cole stood up, and Maro Itoje had his best game of the tournament, in my opinion. He's gone through a tough old time. And when I say tough, I mean really tough. And he's found on-field leadership, in my opinion, quite difficult through the tournament. In Paris, I got the sense that he was looking like his normal self, and how much better did England do as a result of that. Now, the final few minutes. Well, oh no. 3 minutes on the clock, and Jack Van Poortvliet decides to do a box kick. And not even a long box kick. Difficult. I've heard people, and I've read people on social media say that Jack Van Poortvliet speeded the game up when he came on. He made them, but I thought his kicking was bad compared to Ben Spencer. And England suffered, in my opinion, as a result of it. But it wasn't just down to Jack Van Poortvliet, in my opinion. What then happened was absolutely ridiculous. Henry Pollock looked like he was trying to play sevens, as if we were chasing the game. Henry, you'd just been at the other end doing a celebration. We were winning. We didn't need to play high-risk rugby in our own half. Atrocious. Sorry. Love what you're doing for the game, but that was brain fog at its worst. And then to the French TV director. Not got a clue about these high tackles. We've had Trevor Davidson, we've had Maro Itoje twice. Oh, come on. Let's be realistic. Let's show what happened to the referee rather than whispering in his ear. Very poor form, in my opinion. Absolutely terrible communications by the referee. And where Ramos kicked from, I'm really not interested in. But come on. In a game of that magnitude, a whisper in the ear and I'll put my arm up penalty in the last minute of the game is not acceptable. Really not acceptable. And I'm sorry, you are a great referee, but that is unacceptable in my opinion. Whether France won or England won, it doesn't matter. But that blind decision, aided and abetted by French TV directors, was not the way to finish the game. To Thomas Ramos and Louis Berabi, blinking heck, tremendous rugby. Well done. Love your pace, mate. LBB, keep that pace going. Oh, it's wonderful. I just love pace and acceleration. So well done to France. And come on, England. That's a game plan that works. Not against every team, however. But let's not just have plan A, kick, and plan B, intensity. Let's have some planning going into future opposition. Now to my friends Scotland. Gregor, still think you need to pick Johnny Matthews. The ability of the Scottish team to churn hookers is ridiculous. However, well done, George Turner, Ian Ashman. You did really well on Saturday, so congratulations. Thought the interesting thing for me was the ball didn't quite stick as it had done the week before against France. Scotland had the real desire to do things, but there were those moments where the ball just didn't stick. And the Irish, wow, intense. Conan, Doris, Van der Fleer, Tad Byrne, Joe McCarthy, whoa, intensity. Nothing was going past them. They were going to make sure that they were on top from the get-go, and that's what they achieved. And for me, Crowley came of age. That was a good thing for Irish rugby. I also think, as I've mentioned on a number of occasions, Farrell this season, back from the Lions, whether it's enforced because of injury or whether it was part of his planning, has been able to bring in some players and they have stood up. So, great to see the Triple Crown. Well done, Ireland. Scotland, keep playing that brand of rugby. But remember, when you play that brand of rugby, if it doesn't quite go for you, it's not that easy to win. And to Wales. Well, from the England game, I've been saying, well done. Love the defensive intensity. I've called out Daffyd Jenkins time and time again, and I'll do it again today. Aaron Wainwright, I've called out in terms of his attacking threat and his desire. Saturday proved it once again. It's good for the game in Wales. Two players there that show what Welsh rugby really is about. And Italy, well, I don't know what quite happened. I think you celebrated a little too hard after the England win, and you deserve to celebrate. We should celebrate success, but you didn't really come out playing the way we all thought you were going to. And look, travelling away from home in the Six Nations is not easy. And given that, I just wanted to mention Portugal beating Georgia for the European Cup. That is so good for rugby. To see Portugal, Georgia and Spain competing at this level augurs well for European rugby, including the Six Nations. Other talking points for me this weekend: over 4,500 spectators watching National League Rugby Division 1 at Plymouth. Brilliant. Congratulations to National League Rugby, to Chris Heel, to Talking Rugby Union for the way in which they have promoted National League Rugby. And it's great to see the response from spectators.